In the previous program, we had talked about consciousness, that what the Guru is trying to tell us is raise your consciousness. And that is only possible if we follow the teachings of Guru Granth Sahib. And in this program, we have started a new initiative whereby every week we are talking about what Japji Sahib means and what the Guru is trying to tell us. Sardar Harbans Singh Kandola, who is a community activist, comes here. He has worked hard on this particular program, project, I would say. And he comes here and talks to us and tells us that what the Guru is trying to tell us. Let's continue on the spiritual journey and talk about further what Guru Nanak Sahib is telling us in Japji Sahib. Jai Ji, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa.
Vaheguru Ji Fateh. Apiji, in Pauri second, we were trying to explain Hukum.
Ji.
Guru Sahib says everything operates under the laws of nature. And there are no exceptions or miracles in the laws of nature.
Right.
In daily life, if we try to understand, live according to the laws of nature and don't go against it, Guru, what have you done? I don't like that. And then you really achieve peace in life. In Pauri 2, Guru Sahib कहने ने Hukmi uttam neech, Hukum likh dukh sukh paiye. It's very important to understand. Guru says those who surrender to the Hukum, the laws of nature, divine will, the will of God, live according to that means living according to the teachings of Sri Guru Granth Sahib, live peaceful, blissful, and respected life in society. That means uttam ho jana.
Right.
Hukmi uttam. You raised that question, the young people, like, okay, what is in your will? If you do these, you will live a peaceful life, peaceful and enjoyable life.
Right.
इसे नु कहंदे ने उत्तम हो जाना. Rabb is not going to make you uttam.
Right.
But
You have to.
He has given you that prasad, the guidance.
Right.
But you have to work on that. Okay. इसे नु उत्तम हो जाना. Hukmi uttam neech. No. Again, Guru says those who choose to pursue ego lifestyle and create their own separate world according to their own thinking, ignore the teachings of Gurus, become manmukh, identify with worldly pleasures, live in fear, anxiety, pain, suffering, इसे नु कहंदे ने उत्तम नीच हो जाना. अपने तुसी जो कुछ कीता, according to the laws of nature, you are facing those consequences. You do those, ignore the laws, ignore Guru's teaching, and you suffer. नीच हो गए.
Right.
Okay. Now Guru says, then hukum lik dukh sukh paiye. It's not that God has written that you must face this trouble and suffer. No, Guru says those who enjoy company of spiritual Gurmukh people, live the teachings of Gurus, acquire virtuous values and change their behavior, their habit, live fulfilled and joyful life. इसे नु कहंदे ने सुख लिखिया गया. Again, Guru has done his job.
Right.
But if you do your job, then you will definitely enjoy inner peace.
Right.
And those who choose to the company of wicked people, manmukh, acquire vices, ego, habits, and live a virulent life and mental suffering, stress, depression, jo main kiya so main paya, dosh na dije, avarjana. Enu kende ne dukh likh liya.
Right.
Guru hasn't done anything, but you did your own. You face the consequences. You cannot avoid the consequences.
Right.
Guru has no business to give you dukh.
Absolutely. And that's what it is. See how beautiful it is that blame game in which we get engulfed all the time. The Guru is telling us, don't blame anyone else for what you are facing. It is what you did, and that's the result you are facing now.
Yeah, Guru has given you the source.
The guidance.
It's up to you what you do, but you cannot avoid the consequences.
Oh yeah.
That's the law of nature.
That's
what we're trying to. Ikna hukmi ek bakhshish, ek hukmi sada pawai hai. Now we were talking about the literal translation.
Right.
Here, that the way it's been translated, it is completely a contradiction of the six spiritual doctrines. God shower gifts, happiness on some. God give pain, suffering to others. Hukum lik dukh sukh paiye. Satgur Gurbani says Satgur sabna da pala manainda. Augun ko na chitarda. again, if you don't understand the general philosophy of Gurbani and you interpret literally, you end up doing the wrong meaning. Ikna hukmi bakshish hukmi sada pavain, the meaning is those who live according to the laws of nature, live according to hukum, surrender to the will of God, as we discussed before. If there's a crop failure, a storm, it's the will of God. It's the will of God. It's the laws of nature.
That's right.
No, God is not against you. This is the way and those who receive the divine wisdom, for example, live blissful life. This is called bakshish hukmi, hukmi hovan bakshish. Udete bakshish ho gayi manya janda hai. Okay, those who ignore the hukum, as we say, God, you given us a girl, and we don't like that, that's going against the
law of nature.
Hukum, the laws of nature.
Right.
And live aimlessly, meaningless, and wanders, die conscious death every day, awa governor hor hai fulfill. Those who go against the law,
they face the consequences.
Hukmi sada pawai. God doesn't do that. But
you face the consequences for that.
You faces the consequences.
Now, example here, Kandola Sahib, is Punjab. Let's go to Punjab, whereby it is said that the water level has gone so down, it's been depleted so much, and also some of the districts, the Malwa belt is full of cancer. Now, if we see basically the way the land has been misutilized, the kind of fertilizers, the pesticides we have been using for ages to have more crop, and the result now is what it is. God hasn't done this.
You went against the laws of nature, and you face the consequences. Right? Don't blame the God. Now Guru Sahib कहते हुक्म अंदर सब को बाहर हुक्म ना होए, as we say, everything operates under the laws of nature. Hukum, we have to learn to live according to that.
Right.
Everything happens as we said according to the laws of nature, the kudrat da nijam ansar. The will of God, hukum. There are no exceptions to the laws of nature. Kudrat de nijam andar Guru Sahib kehndे ne anhoni hundi nahi. The only way Guru Sahib kehndे ne pav vich asa di war vich kehndे ne pav vich pavan vah sadwao pav vich challe lakh dariyao. So all Guru wants to say here that nothing operates outside the laws of nature. And that's very practical and that's very scientific. Nanak hukme je bujhe to hum kahe na koi. Now those who have understood the concept we discussed about, and then Guru says, you says to be, if you choose to be slave of your mind, your own thoughts is called ego duality. Guru Sahib kehndे ne haume naave naal virodh hai. And choose to learn to listen to Guru, follow the spiritual teaching of Satguru, live according to the hukum, laws of nature, a divine will, become a man of higher consciousness, egoless. Those who, Nanak hukum je bujhe, those who have learned to live according to the hukum, those who have internalized the virtues, they don't have an ego.
Oh yeah.
The ego, it doesn't stay there.
Right.
Now, Harpreet, we start on Pauri 3. Guru Sahib says, "Gave ko taan hove kise taan." I just want to the literal translation of this. Gave ko taan hove kise taan. Who can sing his might? Everybody can. The translation is, who can sing his might? Who has power to sing it? And when a young people read this, he says, I don't get out of anything because it doesn't relate to me. That's a literal meaning. On gave ko taan, we need to understand those who sing the praises of God. Singing the praises of God means internalizing the values, the virtues described before we talked about that. And meditate on the virtues, the values, the goodness, and learn to internalize those who gave ko taan. Those who do that, hove kise taan. The person becomes of higher consciousness and pious person and uchi surt wale ho jande ne. This means gave ko taan, those who meditate on become virtuous person. Gave ko daat jane nisan. those who have internalized, realized those values, learn to live, they think this is the gift of God.
Right.
They don't think this is my doing. And we want to take I out of this and ego out of this. And Guru, then we say, this is your grace, this is the gift of the God, the ever internal and the peace.
Right.
Gaave ko gun vadiyaiyan char. God conscious people believe these virtues, values, and beautiful life changing experience is the gift of God. Then we come into a gratitude. Gaave ko vidya vikham vichar. Guru Sahib says, some believe that the spiritual path is a very difficult path, but in fact, this is the excuse. They want to go their own ego way. But those who receive the gift of divine will, they enjoy it. This is the pure beauty. They don't find excuses.
Right. We'll continue with that discussion. We'll go for a small break. We'll go for a small break and come back and continue with this discussion. Till now, what we have been told by Guru Sahib is that we have to raise our consciousness. We have to live in his hukam, his divine will. We have a free choice. Guru Sahib has given us the direction. Now it is our duty to follow that. But if we do not follow that will, if we do not follow that path shown to us and then curse God that why I am the sufferer, then who is to blame for that?